Tonight on DC News Now, an important update from DC Water on the sewage spill cleanup.
Try and figure out where are the other areas where this condition might exist.
We dig deeper at the repair plans.
March 29th to April 1st.
Peak bloom for this year's cherry blossoms are set to draw an even larger crowd due to America's 250th birthday. It has local restaurants ready for big business.
Some rumbles of thunder for tonight, fog tomorrow morning, and then we're looking at a boost in the temperatures just in time for the weekend. The latest on that coming up.
And we're helping you stretch your dollar. Why with what you pay in Instacart for the same item could be different from your neighbors.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
I'm Susan Tran. The emergency fix of a broken sewage line is on schedule, but the damage has been done as a broken pipe led to nearly 250 million gallons of wastewater dumped right into the Potomac.
DC Water updating us on what could have caused a health and environmental disaster. The head of the agency calling it a once-in-a-lifetime break and something they've never seen before. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live at DC Water headquarters.
And Daniel, so what could have caused this really catastrophic failure?
Well, Susan and Chris, DC Water's CEO says they're not exactly sure of what the exact cause is at this time, but they do think that it could be a contributing factor is the construction of the pipeline back in the 60s. They say they are working to figure it all out.
Federal and local agencies are hard at work near the site of the Potomac Interceptor collapse in Cabin John, Maryland.
No one's ever seen a break like this or of this magnitude.
The section that broke has been inspected several times, including an October 2024 inspection. DC Water CEO David Gaddis says it wasn't an emergency and was scheduled to be repaired this summer.
There's no report that we have that would have told us that was going to break. And also we didn't see anything there other than the thinning walls on that section.
When it broke January 19th, boulders blocked the entire pipe, causing that massive overflow.
In this case, there was really no warning. When the pipe failed, all these rocks kind of all ended up blocking the pipe in its entirety, nearly completely obstructing the flow.
Potomac Interceptor Program Manager John Cassidy says it's not standard or good engineering to have rocks put back over the pipe when it was built.
We're going through the record drawings to identify sections where blasting may have occurred back in the original construction in the 1960s. Going to use that to identify where there may be other locations where rock boulders exist on top of the pipe.
DC Water continues coordination with the Army Corps of Engineers to fix the pipe before the EPA will also assist with cleanup efforts in the C&O Canal.
So DC Water is expecting that the repair of the Potomac Interceptor where it collapsed will be done by mid-March. That way the sewer water can flow through the pipe. Then they will continue to make those repairs, putting slip lines, basically a new pipe within the old pipe throughout the entire system. DC Water has also initiated an independent look at their policies and procedures and to see if there's anything that they can change moving forward. We're live in Southeast. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
An update there, Daniel. Thank you. The dangerous levels of bacteria in the Potomac have come down enough for health officials in Virginia to lift some restrictions. They're now reopening a large stretch of the river to boating from Chain Bridge over in McLean all the way down to King George County. But the advisory remains in place for the Potomac between the American Legion Memorial Bridge to the Chain Bridge. At one point, the high levels of E. coli forced Virginia to shut down roughly 70 miles of the waterway.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Jackie Layer is here. And Jackie, before we get to the weekend warm up, we got to deal with some showers out there right now.
Yeah, some showers and some embedded thunderstorms too.
Wow.
So yeah, if anyone's trying to go to sleep right now, back to the north and west of the district, yeah, it's probably going to be tough. Not only because of the thunder, also because of some heavier rainfall too. So let's get right to it with that radar out there right now. Yep, lighting up off towards the north and west. Quite a few lightning strikes on the map, especially where we're seeing some of those reds popping up on the map, indicating some of the heaviest of the rainfall. But as this is continuing to move its way eastward, it is continuing to weaken. So could we see a rumble of thunder in D.C.? Yes, we could see that within the next couple of hours. But as it continues to move its way east, like I mentioned, it will likely be less in terms of the amount of lightning strikes and also in terms of how heavy it could be as it approaches the district. But out there right now, Frederick County, Maryland, you're in the thick of it right now. Also down just in the north of Brunswick. So about to push into northern Loudoun County over towards Charlestown and then down towards Front Royal. Still dealing with some of the steadiest to heaviest of that rainfall at the moment. So by 11 p.m. approaching the district, and then eventually that does start to slide out. Maybe a few of those isolated showers overnight, mainly along and north of 66. Still cloudy, still going to be tracking some patchy dense fog into tomorrow morning's commute. But tomorrow the difference is it'll be slightly cooler for much of the area thanks to a more east-northeast wind, thanks to the cloud cover, and also thanks to some fog. More details on that. Also a look ahead towards our warm-up for the weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Jackie, we'll see you then. It is official. The National Park Service, big news, predicting cherry blossoms will hit peak bloom between March 29th and April 1st.
The pink petals are paving the way for a busy season for businesses in the district. DC News Now's Yamari Sase joining us live there in Northeast.
All right, so Yamari, what's on the menu for so many restaurants eager for what they hope will really be a big rush?
Yeah, well, the pink decorations are already up. Those special food and drinks are ready to go. And some restaurants are even adding extra staff to keep up with the demand and customers that they're expecting to see, especially during this cherry blossom season.
I am so excited. I feel like it just brings so many people, so much community into DC.
Restaurants like Ciel and Hank's Oyster Bar wasted no time getting ready for the Cherry Blossom Festival around the corner.
Everybody gets really excited, tons of tourism, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
With many restaurants just coming out of their slow season, they say the festival is the perfect time to kick off a busier time of the year.
The minute the weather breaks, we're off to the races, and Cherry Blossom is always kind of like the first one that really gets us going.
And with thousands of visitors expected, restaurants are looking forward to the crowd stopping in for a bite to eat or a drink. At Ciel, they're rolling out a brand new menu with dishes, desserts, and cocktails inspired by Japanese culture.
I have to say I'm especially proud of the tuna and sushi dishes that we're bringing in, and the drinks are fabulous. We have a lot of yuzu, ginger, hibiscus, Japanese flavors.
Over at Hank's, the fan favorite pedal to the metal drink is back, along with a special oyster dish with a Japanese twist.
The really delicious, salty, briny, but really clean finish, and that'll be served with a shio-koji sauce, which is a Japanese spice.
These restaurants say they've been preparing behind the scenes, so they're ready when the crowds arrive.
Plenty of staff and ready to go, so it's a lot, but it's fun. So.
We are ready and welcoming all of the tourists and people that are coming into town for this.
Well, the Cherry Blossom Festival kicks off on March 20th, and around that time, you'll definitely see a lot of those special food and drinks. Reporting in Northeast, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
Can't wait, Yamri, thank you. Cherry blossom season is one of the busiest times for Metro as well. WMATA says all lines lead to the blooms and counted 710,000 rail trips during peak bloom last year. If you're headed out, Smithsonian Station is the closest to Tidal Basin, while L'Enfant Plaza and Federal Triangle stations are both roughly about a 20-minute walk. If you are running in the Cherry Blossom 10-miler in April, Metro will open at 5 in the morning to get you over to the start line on time. Now to a court hearing for the man accused of killing a millionaire philanthropist in his Maryland senior living facility.
A judge deciding if the medtech is able to stand trial.
And prosecutors say the 22-year-old murdered the elderly man on Valentine's Day morning, then shot a state trooper days later.
Yeah, DC News Now's Liberty Simmons sharing the details on if a trial will move forward.
Suspect Marquise James is being held without bond, and he has been found competent to stand trial. Now, he's accused of murdering a senior that he used to administer medicine to.
Not guilty means not guilty. These are going to be hard-fought cases.
The defense attorney for Marquise James says his defendant will enter not guilty pleas in both cases against him. One for the shooting of a Maryland state trooper in Baltimore, the other for the shooting death of 87-year-old philanthropist Robert Fuller. Montgomery County Police released this surveillance video they say shows James wearing a wig the day of the shooting at the senior living facility. Police say James administered medicine to Fuller.
He was a med tech, right? You know, if he was doing that, that's his job.
Police also say 2 weeks after the murder, James shot at a Maryland state trooper during a traffic stop in Baltimore. But his defense attorney says the photo of the traffic stop and the surveillance video police released don't appear to be his client.
I mean, who is it? We don't know.
You're saying it's not James?
I'm saying we don't know, but we have reason to believe it's not.
If convicted, James faces life behind bars, and his preliminary hearing is set for March 27th. For now, in Rockville, Maryland, Liberty Simmons, DC News Now.
A major shakeup for the Trump administration. He has fired Kristi Noem as head of Homeland Security.
It is the first cabinet position change in his second term. The president making the announcement on social media, and also says he's nominating a senator from Oklahoma to replace her. Now, Noem has faced growing scrutiny since the immigration and border agents killed 2 Americans there in Minneapolis, and her handling of the investigations. She was also grilled by congressional leaders on allegations of an affair with her chief advisor, a questionable $200 million advertising campaign for the agency that prominently featured her, and the pause, then quick reversal on 2 airport security programs, TSA PreCheck and Global Entry, during the agency's partial shutdown. The president says he is nominating and appointing Noem to a newly created position.
As the war in Iran continues, we're learning the final 2 names of the 6 Army reservists killed in Kuwait, and one is a Major Jeffrey O'Brien. The well-decorated soldier was a Signal Corps officer responsible for the Army's entire communications networks. The 45-year-old was deployed to Kuwait back in 2019. The other name released is Chief Warrant Officer Robert Marzin. The Pentagon says a 54-year-old was at the command center when it was hit by a drone, but a medical examiner will need to confirm his identification. The Pentagon released the names of the 4 other reservists on Tuesday. We're also learning from the State Department that nearly 20,000 Americans have returned home from the Middle East since the strike started on Saturday. Government chartered flights are helping bring U.S. citizens home, with more flights being arranged. The department has set up a 24/7 task force to assist Americans wanting to leave the region. And for the latest on the war in Iran, head to our website, dcnewsnow.com, and search Iran.
New tonight, a routine traffic stop turning into this unexpected act of community service here in Maryland. Now, Greenbelt Police is sharing this video on social media. The officer pulling over a driver for being on the wrong side of the road. She admits to not having a valid license, but in the middle of a DoorDash delivery. Instead of immediately towing the car, the officer, as you can see right here, lets her park safely, then personally takes the dinner and delivers it to the customer's home. I love it. Job well done.
Pretty impressive, right? Yeah. Coming up here on DC News Now at 9, waiving adoption fees. Where in the DMV you can go home with a pit bull for free.
They're found in everything with a button, from garage door openers to self-driving cars. The recent push to make sure more computer chips are made in the USA.
And ahead at 9:30, Pretty in Pink, the new events you can enjoy during the Cherry Blossom Festival.